after I make out my list of people, are there any scripts to use to start contacting my people? And yes, there are. But I'll give you just a general idea, and this is really to match up with your personality. But one way you can call people, or one thing you can use when you're calling your friends is simply, hey, I want to give you a ring. I just got started with the business, and it looks like it's going to be great. The person I'm working with is making money, and I'm going to use this business to pay off my credit cards. I don't know if it's going to be for you or not, but I know this. I know I want you to see it and see if it is for you. So when can we sit down? When can we get together? Or, hey, I just got started with something, and there's people making money, and I'm going to use it to become a stay-at-home parent. And I thought you might appreciate knowing about it as well. So when can we sit down and let me show you what this is? It may or may not be for you, but at the end of an hour, you'll know whether it's for you or not. You can also go to AdvoCareTraining.com, go to Downloads and Fundamentals, and at the very bottom, the last item on there is What Do I Say? And it has an option of 6 or 7 different scripts that Danny McDaniel uses and Charlie Vegas used. And you can find something that matches up with your personality. And you may even take a combination of the two and put them together. But however I went, I would use the words they used, because there's no question the people that are the best at inviting make the most money here. Because really all we're looking to do is get people to see the full vision of what's going on so that they can make a decision for themselves. So that's one area where I'll say, you know, you really need to find the right word choices that are already documented and use them. Now, when you get done inviting somebody, when you say, hey, look, I'm getting started with something because my friend's making $3,000 a month and I'm going to do this so I can be a stay-at-home parent. I don't know if it's going to be for you or not, but I thought you might appreciate knowing about it. When can we sit down and take an hour and let me show you what's going on? Everyone is going to do the same thing. They're going to say, well, that's great. What is it? If you answer what it is, everything's over at that point. Because really the reason they're asking is so they can make a decision right there on the phone in a 5-second interview process. So the way that you respond to what is it is simply, hey, I'd love to tell you, but I don't want to mess this thing up for you. If it's as good as what it looks like, you don't want me to mess it up. Let's just sit down and show you what's going on. And when you do that, people are generally okay with that. They're like, all right. Or you can say, hey, look, I'm new, and all I'm going to do is confuse you and probably confuse myself at the same time. So why don't we just take an hour to sit down and take a look at it? That works as well. Or, hey, I'm new at this, and there's no possible way I can explain this over the phone, and I want you to get the full vision so you can make a decision based on the facts as opposed to the lack of facts. So let's just sit down, I'll show you what's going on, and at the end of an hour you can see if it makes sense for you or not. So that's a couple of different ways you can answer that. But I encourage you to go through AdvoCareTraining.com and check out What Do I Say, and see what matches up with your personality, and then maybe put a combination of those two together. But again, I'd encourage you to stick with the words choices they've used, because these have evolved over decades here, and these guys aren't guessing on what works and what doesn't work. And if you get someone to see the vision, you're definitely going to come out of it with customers at least 9 times out of 10. So if you get good at that, the door opens to the rest of the business. All right.